You got what you asked for, baby boy. What happened there?
I'm happy that I won.
Shawn Sheikhan.
You calling if I raise mine?
No, I'm just gonna
A once prominent personality on televised poker, went from winning millions at the poker table to facing 40 years in prison. The man who once intimidated opponents with his aggressive style and brash personality is now battling a legal nightmare that could see him spending years, if not decades, behind bars. What happened to Shawn? And what led to Shawn's dramatic downfall? Stick around to find out. But first, who is Shawn Sheikhan? Shawn Sheikhan, often known simply as Shawn, is a professional poker player who gained notoriety in the poker world during the early 2000s. He's perhaps best known for his aggressive playing style and larger-than-life personality, which have made him a memorable figure at the poker table. Born in Iran, Sheikhan moved to the United States at a young age and eventually settled in Las Vegas, where he became a regular in high-stakes cash games and poker tournaments. While Shawn Sheikhan had earned a significant amount of money from poker, particularly from cash games, the majority of his wealth has come from outside the poker world. Before becoming a full-time poker player, Shawn established himself as a successful businessman in the beauty industry. He owned and operated several profitable beauty and tanning salons in Las Vegas, which provided him with the financial stability to pursue poker as a serious endeavor. His entrepreneurial ventures were the foundation of his wealth, allowing him to comfortably participate in high-stakes poker games without the financial pressure that many other players face. The financial cushion enabled him to take more risks at the table, contributing to his aggressive and fearless style of play. Shawn's journey into the world of poker began in the mid-1990s, after he had already established himself in the beauty industry. His interest in poker really took shape when he started playing in local games in Las Vegas, where he quickly discovered a natural talent for the game. Shawn was drawn to the competitive and strategic elements of poker, which resonated with his own entrepreneurial spirit. His bold and aggressive moves have paid dividends in the business world, and he was starting to realize he could utilize those same instincts on the poker tables. Initially, Shawn played poker as a hobby, but his success in local games led him to take the game more seriously. He began studying poker strategy, refining his skills, and playing in high-stakes games. His background in business likely contributed to his understanding of risk management, which is a crucial aspect of successful poker play. By the early 2000s, Shawn had become a regular in some of the most prestigious poker rooms in Las Vegas. He gained a reputation for being a tough and unpredictable opponent, known for his ability to put pressure on other players. His aggressive and talkative style often led to confrontations at the table, making him an interesting character for televised poker. Shawn's rise in the poker world coincided with the poker boom of the early 2000s, a period where poker gained massive popularity due to televised tournaments like the World Series of Poker and the World Poker Tour. He participated in several of these tournaments, including the World Series of Poker, where he made deep runs in various events. Although he never won a World Series of Poker bracelet, his performances in these high-profile tournaments helped to establish him a well-known figure in the poker community. Shawn often found himself up against some of the biggest names in poker, holding his own in the intense, pressure-filled environments of these prestigious tournaments. His ability to make it far in such competitive fields was a testament to his strategic acumen and fearlessness, qualities that have defined his poker career. Sheikhan's appearances on television during this era, particularly in the World Series of Poker, helped cement his reputation as a tough and unpredictable opponent. The poker boom brought the game into living rooms across the world, and Shawn's on-screen moments, whether it was a bold bluff or a heated exchange with another player, became part of the fabric of this exciting period in poker history. His persona at the table, combined with his strong performances, made Shawn Sheikhan a memorable player of the poker boom era. While he may not have collected the trophies and accolades that some of his contemporaries did, his impact on the game and his role in one of the poker's most dynamic periods remains significant. Shawn Sheikhan's poker career has not been without controversy. In 2007, he became embroiled in a legal battle over his immigration status, which stemmed from a conviction in the 1990s related to a marijuana charge. The U.S. government sought to deport him to Iran, but after a lengthy legal process, he was allowed to remain in the country. The legal battle was widely covered in the media and brought Sheikhan a great deal of attention, though not all positive. Despite these challenges, Shawn continued to be a prominent figure in the poker world. His ability to navigate the ups and downs of both his business and poker careers demonstrated his resilience and adaptability, qualities that are essential for success in any high-stakes environment. Shawn Sheikhan was kind of a jerk. When it comes to poker, there's no shortage of big personalities, but few have left as controversial a mark on the felt as Shawn Sheikhan. Known for his brash and abrasive style, Shawn went beyond poker. He was playing mind games, getting under the skin of anyone who dared to sit across from him. Love him or hate him, you couldn't ignore him. Here's a deep dive into some unforgettable moments when Shawn earned his reputation as one of the most notorious jerks in poker history. Shawn Sheikhan's encounter with Mike "The Mouth" Matusow at the 2005 World Series of Poker is the stuff of poker legend. Matusow, already known for his fiery temper, found himself at the mercy of Sheikhan's relentless verbal assault. During a hand, Sheikhan took every opportunity to needle Matusow. Matusow, already known for his fiery temper, found himself at the mercy of Sheikhan's relentless verbal assault. During a hand, Sheikhan took every opportunity to needle Matusow, questioning his decisions, mocking his play, and refusing to let up. Matusow, visibly rattled, eventually exploded, hurling a string of expletives at Sheikhan. But Sheikhan didn't flinch. He just smirked and continued his barrage, pushing Matusow closer and closer to the edge. The result? A full-blown meltdown from Matusow, who couldn't handle Sheikhan's constant needling. Sheikhan's cold, calculated torment of Matusow didn't win him any friends at the table, but it did cement his status as one of the biggest jerks in the game.
Matusow and Sheikhan receiving penalties.
First of all, when the flop came, you slammed the table.
Sure did.
Then both of you guys got into it, so guess what? Right now, both you guys are on a 10-minute penalty.
As Matusow responded by swearing at him after Sheikhan's outburst.
You know, we're in a hand. You need to shut the up.
Uh-oh. What did you say, Mike? Mike. What did you say, Mike? Did you say something?
After the 10-minute penalty, Shawn went on an epic run, hour after hour, that culminated in this epic run-out against his target, Mike Matusow.
4-10 ace. Sheikhan grabs the lead with a pair of aces.
Sheikhan stands up and sits right back down as he takes a look and sees that Matusow has picked up a straight draw. A jack would make the mouth a straight.
It's killing Matusow. He might double up the Sheik again.
Don't make two pair. That would
You know, if these two played heads up in an alley, I think they'd draw a crowd.
Now the turn card. Matusow pairs his queen.
No, I don't want to make two pair.
Yeah, a king would make the Sheik a straight. Matusow can still get his man. The mouth with a queen or jack on the river would knock out Sheikhan.
And now the river card is a king. Sheikhan earns the degree check mark with a straight. Doubles up again.
You got what you asked for, baby boy. What happened there? You got what you deserve, sucker.
Boy, the mouth is dry for once.
And Matusow cannot get rid of the Sheik. He's now back over 1 million chips in this main event.
But this wasn't Shawn's only instance of taking the psychological game a little too far. One of the most controversial moments in his poker career came during a televised cash game, high-stakes poker, where he faced off against Prahlad Friedman. The hand itself was intense, but it is what happened afterward that had everyone talking. After winning a massive pot, Sheikhan couldn't resist taking a verbal jab at Friedman, accusing him of being a terrible player and not having a clue. Friedman, known for his calm demeanor, tried to shrug it off, but Sheikhan wasn't finished. He continued his tirade, even going so far as to belittle Friedman's past successes. It was a clear attempt to humiliate his opponent, and it worked. Friedman, usually unflappable, was visibly shaken by the encounter. The poker world watched in shock as Sheikhan crossed a line that many believe should never be crossed at the table. He was making things very personal and on TV. It was a moment that highlighted just how ruthless Sheikhan can be, not just in his play, but in his treatment of other players. Love him or hate him, you would remember him. His antics at the table weren't just about winning hands, they were about winning the psychological war, and while his methods were often viewed as unsportsmanlike, there's no denying that they were effective. Shawn got under the skin of some of the game's biggest names, throwing them off their game and giving himself a mental edge. But with that edge came a cost. Sheikhan's behavior earned him a reputation as one of the game's biggest jerks, and it's a reputation that sticks with him to this day. Whether it was needling Mike Matusow or crossing the line with Prahlad Friedman, Sheikhan showed time and time again that he wasn't afraid to be the bad guy. In fact, he seemed to relish it. Liking the video so far? Make sure to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Coming up are the best parts of Shawn's rise and epic fall. Shawn's biggest poker accomplishments. Shawn Sheikhan may be best known for his larger-than-life personality and controversial antics at the poker table, but beneath the bravado lies a player with real poker skills and significant accomplishments. Though he never claimed a World Series of Poker bracelet, his successes in high-stake cash games, deep runs in major tournaments, and his undeniable influence in the poker community make him a notable figure in the world of poker. One of Shawn Sheikhan's most significant accomplishments in poker is his sustained success in high-stakes cash games. Unlike tournaments, where victory is often celebrated with trophies and bracelets, the cash game arena is a different beast, one where reputation and consistency are key. Sheikhan made his mark in the bustling cash game scene of Las Vegas, regularly competing against some of the best players in the world. His ability to thrive in these high-pressure environments is a testament to his skill and mental fortitude. Cash games require a different approach compared to tournaments. They demand an acute awareness of the table dynamics, a deep understanding of bankroll management, and the ability to make tough decisions consistently. Sheikhan's aggressive and fearless style of play, coupled with his sharp strategic mind, allowed him to hold his own against poker's elite. While cash game victories don't come with the same level of public recognition as tournament wins, they're often where the best players provide their mettle. Sheikhan's consistent earnings from cash games provided the foundation for his poker career, allowing him to participate in high-stakes tournaments. Shawn Sheikhan's performance at the World Series of Poker are another significant highlight of his poker career. While he never secured a coveted bracelet, his deep runs in various events demonstrated his ability to compete at the highest level. The World Series of Poker is the pinnacle of poker tournaments, attracting thousands of players from around the globe, and making it deep in these events is no small feat. One of Sheikhan's most notable wsop performances came in 2005 when he made a deep run at the $10,000 No Limit Hold'em Championship, also known as the main event. Sheikhan navigated a field of thousands of players, showcasing his skill, patience, and strategic prowess. Although he ultimately fell short at the final table, his performance in the 2005 main event was a significant accomplishment, placing him in the top tier of poker players for that year. In addition to the main event, Sheikhan also cashed in several other World Series of Poker events, including No Limit Hold'em and Pot Limit Omaha tournaments. His ability to cash in multiple events across different poker variants highlights his versatility and deep understanding of the game. The World Series of Poker is known for its incredibly tough fields, and Sheikhan's consistent performances in these events solidified his reputation as a formidable tournament player. One of the key elements that amplified Shawn Sheikhan's poker career was his appearances on televised poker shows. The poker boom of the early 2000s brought the game into the homes of millions, and Sheikhan was a regular face in some of the most popular poker televised programs of that era. Shows like Poker After Dark and High Stakes Poker featured some of the biggest names in poker battling it out in high-stakes cash games, and Sheikhan was often right in the mix. These televised appearances not only highlighted Sheikhan's poker skills, but also showcased his personality. He became known for his aggressive play, sharp wit, and willingness to engage in verbal sparring with other players. While his behavior was often polarizing, it undeniably added drama and excitement to the broadcasts, making him a memorable figure in the poker world. Televised poker provided a platform for players to build their brands and reputations, and Sheikhan used this platform to great effect. His confrontations with players like Mike Matusow and Prahlad Friedman became legendary, and his bold, unfiltered style of play made for must-watch television. While his antics sometimes overshadowed his actual poker achievements, There's no denying that his high-stakes TV appearances were a significant accomplishment in his career. Shwan fought the law, and the law won. Shawn's legal troubles began long before his sentencing. In 2022, he pled guilty to conspiracy to distribute marijuana, a federal crime with severe implications. The charge stemmed from Shawn's involvement in a large-scale marijuana distribution operation. While the details of the case were not widely publicized during the investigation, the federal charge carried a maximum sentence of 40 years in prison and a $5 million fine. On November 6, 2023, Shawn Sheikhan was sentenced in the United States District Court, Southern District of California. Despite the gravity of the charges, Sheikhan's legal team worked to secure a more lenient sentence, arguing that his involvement was not as central as initially portrayed. However, federal prosecutors painted a different picture, highlighting the seriousness of the crime and the scale of the operation in which Shawn was involved. The prosecution argued that Shawn's actions contributed significantly to the illegal distribution network, a point that weighed heavily during sentencing. When Sheikhan pled guilty in 2022, he faced an uncertain future. The maximum sentence for conspiracy to distribute marijuana could have seen him locked away for up to 40 years, a virtual life sentence for the veteran poker player. However, the judge handed down a sentence of 4 years in federal prison, a significant reduction for the potential maximum, but still a devastating blow for Sheikhan. In addition to the prison sentence, Sheikhan may also face financial penalties and other legal consequences. The court's decision marked the culmination of a long and grueling legal battle that has left Shawn's once promising career in tatters. For Shawn Sheikhan, the journey from poker stardom to a federal prison cell was a relatively quick one. Once a regular on poker's biggest stages, Shawn's career has been overshadowed by legal troubles and personal setbacks. The 4-year sentence, while less than the maximum, represents a significant fall from grace for a man who once lived life on his own terms. His release is scheduled for 2028. In that time, the poker world is left to reflect on the legacy of a player who was as much defined by his controversies as by his skills at the table. Shawn Sheikhan's story is one of highs and lows, of risk and reward, and of the thin line between fame and infamy. Whether he can rebuild his life after prison remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, the poker world will never forget the rise and fall of Shawn Sheikhan.